Yarmouk's skeleton. It was a Palestinian refugee camp for families who were forced out of Israel in another war. No civilians are left on this side, controlled by Palestinian fighters and the Syrian army. Some families, the fighters said, are heading to Europe. 400 meters away are jihadists from Al-Qaeda and Islamic State, and thousands of trapped civilians.
Europe is waking up belatedly to the consequences of having a major war, a series of wars, right on its doorstep. The immense movement of people caused by war will continue to pose Europe big challenges, perhaps for years, because this war has a lot of killing left in it. The Middle East is knocking on Europe's doors, and it's not going to go away.
The beaches in Latakia on Syria's Mediterranean coast could be in a different country. Children still play in the waves here, instead of dying in them. For the well-off, the sea is for fun, not escape. Latakia is the provincial capital and a regime stronghold. Because it's relatively safe, its population has more than doubled as it's absorbed 1.6 million Syrians who are refugees in their own country. That's twice as many as Germany is taking. 7,000 are at a camp at the sports centre. They're looked after well. The refugee crisis is created and driven by war. Allah's eldest son was killed fighting in the Syrian army, and another son was badly wounded. She escaped with her husband and 5 youngest children when Idlib, another provincial capital, fell to the opposition in March.
We started running. We passed by the armed groups, but thank God they didn't recognize us. I saw them in my own eyes. They were butchering a man and playing with his head. I ran away with my children, and for a week they couldn't stop crying and had nightmares.
At the military hospital in Latakia, they judge the ferocity of the fighting by the number of Syrian army casualties they receive.
It's a difficult time because of the number, a huge number, a lot of wounded at the same time.
Among hundreds of thousands of wounded, one estimate is that 80,000 Syrian army soldiers have been killed. That's more than the regular fighting strength of the British Army. This soldier didn't want to be identified. He lost his arm when Idlib fell.
I
am in pain, and my mother can't know that. I don't want her to worry about me. Once I have got a new arm, I will go to see her.
In Jundaria village, everyone turned out after Jandab Numan was killed on the front line. They're Alawites, the army's backbone, from the same religious sect as the president. Syrian army attacks often create more refugees, and so do advances by jihadists. War makes people flee for their lives. After Jandab's last fusillade, they reported back to their units. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News.